Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and the decks I'm using are listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Cancer? That's a nice one to start with. Your card showing up. Something has already been established, but do you want to activate it? It's already been established. This doesn't have to be about romance. It can be, doesn't have to be. Because we're going to have these cards, the romance cards and the lover's card, and the King of Cups is going to show up. So, we have the Aphrodite love spell. I'm just saying, doesn't have to be about that. Could be, but it's a general read. Let's see how it goes. Whatever it is that's around you, you've been very, I want to say cautious. I keep getting the triple moon goddess with this, in the sense of like, how would I handle this as a young person, a maiden, a youth? How would I handle this as the mother or father energy? How would I handle this as the crone or sage? So it's like young, middle age, older age. I feel like I'm trying to look at this at 3 different angles. There's a very deep, I want to say, concern with like, a quick decision today could be a bad decision tomorrow. This seems to be the history of this. Like, you're trying to be really smart with it. Really smart. You're thinking about a lot of different angles. Not only how would it affect you, but how it would affect other people that you very much care about. This is also, again, why this reading doesn't have to be about romance. It could be about people who are extremely important to you. And the choices you're making and how the choices you make will eventually pan out for them. It's not just about today and tomorrow. It's about next year, the next 5 years, the next decade, even further possibly. And you've been very careful, very concerned about making the right, or at least the best decision you feel like you can be armed to do. And it's nothing that's left your mind, but I feel like whatever's been happening, whatever's around you, I feel like I've been kind of putting it on mute or like putting it on hold, back burner, whatever it is. It's kind of like I want to do certain things. Maybe it's just not the right time. Maybe I can, just not right now. Now, I got to be careful with this because I don't want it to sound bad. So I don't know how this is going to sound. Some of you may be in relationships where there's a reason you're in that relationship. And maybe that relationship isn't going to make it long term, but it's like, I kind of feel like I almost feel like it's irresponsible for me to kind of look beyond it right now. Could be something like that. This could also be like a job situation. Like, is this job my forever job? I hope not, but will it at least sustain me for the next coming few years because I have other responsibilities and it does make sense with my location. So maybe I don't love this job, but maybe I like what it gives me, and for right now, I'll play the game like I need to for right now until things change. It could be something like that, especially with the Ace of Pentacles there. It could be financial related. It could be. General read, all that good stuff that goes along with it. There's a lot of conflict with this situation because there's like what I want versus what I'm doing. And it's kind of like the want is shifting between those three different, like, if I was younger, my current age, where I want to be when I'm older. It's kind of like, you know what, if I didn't have the responsibilities I had right now, I would make different choices probably. If I didn't already make certain commitments that I already made, I would make different choices. But I already did make certain decisions. I already made certain commitments, and I'm honoring my commitments. I'm honoring what I said I would do. At least for now. Whatever you're dealing with. There's a lot of conflict here emotionally for you. And there's a lot of strength on your side for putting up with something. Putting up with something. Be it a job, relationship, some type of connection. One of the reasons you might be looking at making changes down the road is because you might be doing all the heavy lifting. Maybe you're not doing all the work, but you're doing all the heavy lifting. Whatever that means. I feel like you know what that means if this reading is hitting. And that might be kind of like, this isn't the way I thought this was going to balance out when I got into this, and it's starting to look different than I thought it would. For now, because of responsibilities, I'll do what I need to do, but this may not be my end result because of like how this is playing out. That may be a big piece of this. The way it's currently playing versus the way it should have played out. Very interesting. Whatever you're looking towards, I also feel like opportunities are showing up right now that you weren't expecting. Can I get like a little bit? Opportunities are showing up right now that you weren't expecting. The Chariot card and the dice kind of being it's kind of like off to the side a little bit. Your card is also showing up again on the actual cards. And then the Page of Swords reversed, kind of like, maybe I don't like what I'm hearing. It doesn't matter if it's good information or not. I don't really like what I'm hearing. That might be coming in. And it's kind of throwing things off a little bit. It is kind of making me want to make long-term decisions, making me kind of look in a certain direction here. It's almost like with the job situation, like, oh, there's an opportunity, but it's a couple cities away. I would have to change a lot of my lifestyle and move a lot of things to make that happen. But it's ironic because if I was younger, I'd go for that and make those changes, but I don't know that I can really do that right now, but I really would like to. If you're in a relationship that's on life support or not doing as well as it should be, there might be somebody who's showing up that looks like, you know what, I would love to end the relationship I'm in and go towards that, but this is just not how I roll. This is just not what I can do, at least not right now. But it's kind of like, oh, there's opportunity there, but that's not who I am, so I'm not going to do that. But it's kind of like if I had been single at this point, I'd be making different decisions right now. Could be something like that. Take it with a grain of salt. You're holding the line. You're not going to do anything that you feel isn't right. You're just not. And you're getting prosperity from it. Anything for you, you will not lose. It may look like there's this opportunity and it's kind of like, oh, I really wish I would. And I feel like I'm missing out, but I can't. You're holding the line. You're not going to miss out on opportunity. It's still there. It's just going to show up again later. You're not making any bad decisions. I just feel like you're doing what you have to do. And I feel like I'm moving on from it. I'm like, I can't think about this. I just got to get away from it. Whatever the temptation is, you're like, I just got to get away from it. I just got to get away from it. I don't like these thoughts I'm having. I don't like this. I just got to get away from it. I just got to get away from it. And you're doing what you need to do. Over the next couple months, I feel like you're going to really be evaluating what you want. And I feel like I am getting kind of torn in the sense of like, I need to start making different decisions. Waiting until whatever I was going to wait till is kind of like, you know what, I'm not sure that that's the best move for everybody, including myself. And maybe I need to reevaluate this. Maybe. There's this need to just kind of like, no, I can't do that. I can't allow myself to think that. That's part of it. That's not going to help you, though. Or there's the one day I am going to make that decision, so maybe I should start planning now. One day I will be making that decision, so what do I need to do to set myself up for success for later? there's two different ways to go at this. Kind of like, it's hard to look at this, but over the next few months, I feel like it's going to start coming in louder. Kind of like, I don't think this is my end game. And there's a difference between just kind of like, I can't let me think of this. I can't let myself think of this. I can't let myself think of this. Versus like, one day I am going to make that decision. What do I need to do to set myself up for success when I do make that decision? There's two different ways to go about it. You have to decide what's right. Sooner or later, you will make the decision you need to make. The Death card comes in with the Empress card. You're going to do the decision that's right for you. I remember talking to this one person, and it was ironically a combination of work and of their romantic relationship. And I remember them telling me that they had this urge to start looking in other directions, not moving on decisions in the sense of like leaving anybody or leaving a job or anything like that, but like making plans and like looking at other jobs and kind of like deciding what life would be like if they're single for a while and what they needed to do to set them up for success. And they weren't willing to do that because they thought that they were going to create the end of that situation, and they didn't want to do that. I don't remember which happened first, but both of those situations ended up walking away from them. Unexpectedly both times, but both situations ended whether they liked it or not. They couldn't seem, there's nothing they could have done to keep it going. And I remember them telling me that like if they had made decisions or planned a little bit beforehand, things would have been smoother. They still were fine, they still were successful, but they were looking back kind of like, you know what? If I realized that, it was going to happen whether I liked it or not, I would have done things differently. I would have made different decisions. So it's almost like this reading is kind of saying, if this reading is hitting for you and it seems to be linking up, they're saying sooner or later you're going to end up at this crossroads anyway, whether you want to or not. Planning for it, getting your mindset in like, when I do make this decision, this is the direction I want to go. When I do make this decision, I want to have this stuff already saved or already to the side so I can just activate it and use it when I need it. Will make the journey a lot smoother and a lot more pleasurable for you in a situation that's going to happen anyway. It's about you looking out for you. It's about you being happy and being able to be comfortable with where you need to go next. It doesn't seem to be a bad thing when it happens, but there's a good and there's a great. Like there's a like, all right, this happened. The way it happened may not be the best, but there's a like, well, I'll be fine. I'll just make it work. Versus, all right, this happened. This isn't the best way to happen, but I had planned this. Well, I had planned that sooner or later I was going to make the decision if they didn't anyway. So I'm lined up to be very comfortable and kind of like, you know what, I'm ready to move on anyway. So no harm, no foul. Maybe I don't like the way it played out, but at least I was ready. At least I'm ready to be comfortable. And things are lining up where I need to help them line up. And this is you being empowered. This is you being ready to move forward. This is things coming forward because you were already ready for it. You already went through the mental work to get yourself there, so it went a lot smoother. It's kind of like the different ways it could go. It's kind of like it can go okay or it can go great. I don't really feel like there's a halfway. It possibly is, but it feels like it's okay. Or it's, okay, this is great, because I was getting myself in that mindset way before it happened, so I was ready for it when it did happen. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.